This is Belém, where I grew up in the poorest part of Iquitos. My family was very, very poor. This is where I live. This is a floating area where most of poor people live. This is a place where a lot of people living from the jungle, they come when they want to move to the city. This is the way how people live here in Belém. For example, behind me there is a lady who is washing clothes. This is their laundry area where all these people around here, they live. They also have here water from the Iquitos system. They have water, but not everybody. A week ago, a team from the organization People of Peru Project, we brought a bunch of water filters to give these people so they can have good water to drink. My name is Leovina Perez. I'm the director of People of Peru Project, and I'm a practicing psychologist.
People ask me all the time, how in the world did you end up in Iquitos, Peru? Where is Iquitos, Peru? Well, Iquitos, Peru is the largest city on earth that has no roads leading to it. It's at the headwaters of the Amazon River. To get here, you have to go 4.5 days by boat or an hour-and-a-half flight on a 737 commercial flight. When you leave Lima, which is the longest arid coastline in the world, and you fly up over the Andes Mountains, which is the longest mountain range in the world, then you land in the middle of the largest Amazon jungle in the world, and that's where Iquitos, Peru is, the largest city on earth that has no roads leading to it. A lot of people have asked me over the years, how did you get to Iquitos, Peru, of all places? And the answer was really simple. My daughter got invited to go along on a school-sponsored trip. They were welcoming some tag-along parents as chaperones. My daughter thought it was a good idea that I came along, so I came. And ultimately, I was here. We had an amazing 2 weeks helping people with all kinds of needs. And I saw some things that really impacted me in a way that I'd never been impacted before. And I thought, you know, I can't change the whole world. I can't change all of Iquitos, but I might be able to help a few people if I came back. Some of you have heard me say before that I was impacted in ways that I'd never been impacted before when I came to Iquitos the first time. I had seen a lot of things. I've traveled in Europe, 8 countries. I had been to Mexico, been to Canada, been all over the United States, even in some poor areas of our country at home. But I'd never seen anything like I saw here in Iquitos. I had never seen unattended children in the middle of the night begging for food in the doorways of restaurants that they weren't allowed to enter. I had never seen mothers washing clothes on the same floating platform as the community outhouse, washing clothes, washing dishes, brushing their teeth. I never seen children bathing in the sewage-filled tributaries that were created by the open sewage ditches and the floodplains. There were things that I experienced here that were on a whole new level of anything that I had ever seen before. And it impacted me in a way that made me think, you know, maybe we can do something about it. We've been really fortunate as we've moved forward on this surgery center project to have professionals give us their time and expertise. I want to tell you a few stories of what our translator Joe and our videographer and filmmaker Cliff, a newly retired professional from California, found on the streets these last few days. As our team hit the streets, it would have been hard to miss Jose. Mid-30s guy hobbling around with a 4-legged cane made out of electrical conduit. His situation was bleak and his story was tragic. When he was a young man, he had a serious accident and went to some local physicians to be put back together, and during the course of several surgeries, he ended up being partially paralyzed. That was a result of serious infections that came from those surgeries. In addition to being paralyzed and losing his normal mobility, he ended up with a lifetime colostomy. Now, a colostomy, under the best of circumstances, would be difficult for people. But when you're Jose and you're selling peanuts on the street for a living at literally pennies a day of profit, you can't afford the basic needs of life, never mind a medical supply like colostomy bags. Jose would use that same bag over and over and over again and wash it and try to wash it again and rinse it again until it was of no use, and then finally he'd have to come up with enough money to buy another one. Pretty bleak scenario for people who struggle to survive every day. You should have seen the look on Jose's face when Joe, our translator, and Cliff, the videographer, took him down to the local pharmacy and spent $15 buying him an entire month's supply of colostomy bags that he didn't have to wash and reuse. I mean, you would have thought that we had just bought him a gold Rolex or a new car. You should have seen him. He wept with joy. He kept pounding on his heart like it was going to explode from the happiness that he experienced over such a simple gift. And then we ran across the little 8-month-old baby girl named Samantha, or Sammy, as her mom calls her. This little girl's in desperate need of a cleft palate and lip repair. You know, there are disabilities that individuals have that can be compensated for, or that can be hidden, if you will. But when a little child grows up with this disfigured face, there's really no way to feel normal about yourself. And the self-esteem and the confidence and personalities get changed as a result of something that you and I can take care of for this little girl quite easily. We have surgeons that have been here in the past who specialize in these surgeries. And they've told me unequivocally, Paul, get this surgery center done. We'll come back. We'll make this part of our regular rotation. Our team also found a doctor 26 kilometers up the Amazon River. Now, what's interesting about this doctor is he's been there for many, many years, serving the people of that community. And for a lot of years before that, he was further into the jungle, serving impoverished people that really had no other recourse, no ability to travel into Iquitos, no money to pay doctors here in the local hospitals. The joy and the enthusiasm and the passion that this doctor had for his own people was immeasurable. Very charismatic, a tremendous amount of personality. And in the course of the conversation, he said, but the difficulty right now is that I myself am having some medical challenges. And so they asked, well, what's going on? And he said, well, I've got a tumor on my kidney. And of course, there's silence and shock, and you're listening to this doctor talk about his desire to help other people, but yet he himself is in dire straits. And so Cliff asked, well, is it benign? And he said, no, it's cancerous. So the follow-up question was, well, if it's cancerous, is it still contained? And he said, yes, it is. It hasn't spread to any other parts of the body yet. Well, you know, you and I know that a kidney can be removed and a person can go on to live a long and fruitful life. But the issue with this doctor, ironically, is the same issue of the hundreds and hundreds of people that he's treated in his lifetime, and that is there was simply no money for a surgery. The need for a surgery center here in Iquitos that is specifically built and specifically functions for impoverished people who have no other recourse, that need is overwhelming. These stories just go on and on. Then there was 17-year-old Angelina with 2-year-old Gabriella. This little baby girl was born without a rectum. The mom shared the struggles of what it's like to keep a colostomy clean and cared for on a 2-year-old. If she had money for the colostomy bag, she doesn't have the money for the transportation to get to the city to purchase those bags. So we're talking about people with very, very limited resources. Late in the afternoon, as we left the market, I spotted a lady moving slowly toward the boat docks. She was struggling to walk on her dramatically bowed legs, and it was painful to watch. As we caught up with her and introduced ourselves, she was quite cordial and willing to speak with us. She told us that she had difficulty standing for any length of time as it was too painful, and a nearby shopkeeper overheard her comment and brought a chair for her as we continued our conversation. Local doctors had told her that at 40 years of age, her bones were simply worn out, and this often happens. She lives in a village about an hour and a half downriver and makes this daily trip to the market to sell chili peppers, spending each long day sitting on the ground. It's especially painful climbing the stairs from the boat dock to the market, but this is my life, so why complain? She said with a subtle shrug. The friendships that she has with other ladies in the marketplace help pass the time until the workday is done. Then it's time for the return trip home. Anna said, I have 3 girls, ages 11, 12, and 14, so I just keep working for my family. My husband died a few years ago. He was a fisherman on the river and his leg got mangled in a boating accident. And then the infection came. We told her of our plans for a free surgery center, a place where specialists from all over the world will come to do corrective surgeries just like this one, and that maybe someday she could walk again with no pain. Tears of joy began to trickle down her cheeks, and with a flush of embarrassment, Anna asked us to turn off the camera. I've been waiting for several years to be able to stand here and make the announcement in front of the staff entrance of the People of Peru Project Surgery Center. This surgery center will be amazing. Downstairs are 2 complete ORs for when the surgery teams come from all over the world to do what they do. We've had specialists in the design and the construction and the operation of these surgery centers that have come to our aid to help put together the facility that will be literally state-of-the-art here in Iquitos. The whole upper level of this building will be procedure areas. Right now, People of Peru Project has the necessary equipment to do cataract surgeries, but we have nowhere to set it up. We're waiting. There are people, dozens and dozens of people that our team alone found in this last 3 weeks who need simple cataract surgeries, and we just need a place to do that. Our dental facility right now is limited to 1 chair because that's the only space that we have set up in the existing building. But during the renovation process of the surgery center, we'll have 3 dental operatives that'll be open 5 days a week for impoverished people. That's a lot of oral health going on in the People of Peru Project health facility. Not only will we have 3 operatives, we're going to have a full-blown laboratory so that we can do our own prosthesis, our own crowns, and really give these humble people everything that we can to create a better oral health situation for them. This is a really, really big project, and the financial ask will be huge. But when we have a small army of people that are giving a little bit each month, it adds up quickly. And before long, there will be people lined up outside our door who will be receiving the help they need.